From the basketball court at the University of Virginia to the classroom at UNC Chapel Hill, Dr. Deborah Stroman has it all covered. Now this professor and sports business entrepreneur is about to take you to school. It's time for Dishing It Up with Dr. Stroman and the Sports Shop on Buzz Sports Radio.
D-Stro.
was
Good
good.
morning.
Man.
Good morning, good people. How are we doing?
Doing
Doing
wonderful,
great.
Dr. Stroman. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. I have a few things to discuss. I don't know which order to go at. You all want to do a little March Madness first, or some other things that are happening?
Let's do other things because the other things you may have me walking out the studio.
Wow.
Well, let's just talk about, in fact, particularly because it's close to us here in North Carolina with gun violence. And very, very disappointed to hear that our assembly, our legislators decided to try to stop the ability of people who are getting concealed carry permits not to have background checks, which leads us to the sports world with Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's been announced, we've got an 8-game suspension. 6 have already been served, but want to speak to what Ja is going through. He says the gun wasn't his, and I want to lift up that he said that he deserves the punishment. Some people will say it's not enough, but the point is when the NBA punishes a player more than one game, it is major news in the sports world. So he's been doing Reiki, and I want to lift up the amazing healing that Reiki does for folks. I've had Reiki done. It is a Japanese form of, some people would say, spiritual treatment. But it's about us all understanding that we have a life force. And some people call it chi, right? And it flows throughout our bodies. And what a Reiki practitioner does is they gently move their hands just above our body or on your clothing. And the idea is to serve as like a channel for the energy. So the energy doesn't necessarily come from us, but it's coming from a higher power. And some people would say that is their God. And so it's similar to like a garden hose that's channeling water. But I'm very, very happy to hear that Ja is open to some other forms of treatment. Certainly he's doing the therapy. He's talking it out. He says he's taking responsibility. But just wanted to put it out there. Have you all ever experienced any type of alternative healing besides Western medicine? And again, please check out Reiki. It's spelled Reiki.
Dr. Stroman, I have not done Reiki or any other alternative. Meditation and counseling, of course. I have done those, and other types of activity, but nothing like Reiki or some of the other things that are out there. Maybe acupuncture or some of those. I haven't done any of those, but I do feel like some of that is needed, and it depends on how your body responds to it, how your physiological response to it is probably will be. What I hear is more surprising for a lot of people.
Wow. I have not done anything like that.
I mean, meditation definitely. I've been part of that. That's been a buddy of mine, Dr. Norman Manson, got me involved with that a few years ago. So, and then dealing with anxiety sometimes has been a challenge. So you figure out, treatment and things of that nature. So I've been in part of all those, a couple of those things like that. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody's transparency and vulnerability. I think in the positions that we hold, and especially you all with the microphone, that we can help heal in the sense of telling our truth.
That's right.
And so, in our community, in this fast-paced American society, it's important for us to slow down. And for those out there who play golf, one of the keys to being a good golfer, I won't even say a great golfer, is to calm the mind and to breathe. Breathing is one of the most important things one can do.
I agree.
With playing sports. When you talk about watch the people who make free throws consistently versus those who don't, it's they're going up to the line, they're dribbling real fast and shooting, as opposed to holding the ball, breathing, inhale, exhale. So
and focus.
Give a shout out to breathing, and that Ja is doing that. But related to that, gun violence again, armed security guards are now accompanying Brandon Miller, the superstar for Alabama. Some people would say, what is going on? Is this a distraction? How can you focus as a group of 17 to 22-year-olds when you've got somebody with a gun walking around with the team? But Coach Nate Oates says, if you guys saw some of what I've seen sent his way, I think you would understand.
Yeah.
And for those who have not been following this case, again, Brandon Miller, superstar, definitely an NBA first-round draft pick, if not number one. He was a police officer testified last month that Miller received a text from his teammate at the time asking him to bring his gun to that early morning shooting where a woman lost her life. So what's your take on security guards accompanying college athletes?
Well, there's a couple of things. One is that the scenario kind of lends itself to having extra security. Keep in mind that even though Tuscaloosa is roughly 30 minutes, 45 minutes from Birmingham, they were coming to Birmingham where the young lady was from who got killed. Who knows what type of messages that they received at the university saying, once you come to Birmingham, we're going to do this and do that kind of thing. So you never know. So I think that may be an isolated situation in terms of him coming back to the home where the lady was from, unfortunately, who got killed. Yeah, I'm not with it, something that's because of standard across the board, no. But I think this situation was just unique within itself.
Yeah, to protect him. Because I'm sure, her family, friends, strangers.
Let me help you out.
People that feel like, hey.
Let me help you out. And I ain't trying to be funny.
You showed up with the gun.
I'm from Winona. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. She's from Winona. And if she's from Winona, trust me, some of those messages came out of Winona towards him. And if they were not good, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Period.
I think it's really turning unfortunate because the two individuals that are directly responsible for the murder are in jail. Have been arrested in jail. Yeah. We'll go to trial. We'll be prosecuted, and just some of the things that I witnessed in the SEC tournament in Nashville by students that were not Alabama students, other students, and just the outright disrespect and privilege that they believe they can yell some of those things at this young man. And I get it. He played some role in it, but it's not. He was not the person.
Right.
He was not the aggressor. He was not involved in it. He had no idea what was going on, and they make it out to be like he was an accomplice in these situations, and it's just unfair. And I just think some of the things people are going too far, and they think it's funny. They think they want to shout out murderer, you killer, but you're just going too far. And what happens is it leads to this next stage. Now people are thinking they're feeling it's okay to send threatening messages, talking about I'm going to kill you, and it just snowballs into. So then, if something does tragic happen to this young man, now how would they feel about it? Should we call them accomplices? Should we call them murderers?
Yeah.
Right. I wonder if there would have been some consequences for him. Maybe they didn't let him play a game or two or something like that. Because you stated he had some role. He had some role in it, but he didn't have any consequences.
But
and
it was
saying that he
though.
didn't know what was going to happen is just like Josh
but it was involuntary.
I didn't know if I do this.
But it was
my
involuntary.
money's gonna be in jeopardy.
Yeah, but it was involuntary. He didn't voluntarily have participate. He participated just because he happened to be driving the car coming to get him. That
had the gun.
You don't have to. The state of mind doesn't matter. Now in Alabama, obviously it does. The gun part was he said he didn't receive the text. I think they verified he
He didn't
Until
know
he got
that was the reason that he was coming.
Right.
The reason he thought he was coming was to come to pick him up.
Yeah.
Because that was the original communication.
He didn't look at his phone no more when it beeped.
They verified that. Apparently, that's what the investigator said. I didn't investigate. That's what the investigator said.
Well, I think we've got two sides here. We've got people who've swung too far to Brandon Miller is a first, second-degree murderer, that he should never have put his hands on a gun. Regardless of what the purpose may or may not have been. You can't plead ignorance. And then you have the other spectrum where people are making light of this. And I posted this on my Facebook page that there were 2 fans that were removed from the stadium because they had a T-shirt on that says, "Killing our way through the SEC in 2023." Killing our way through the SEC in 2023. Alabama fans had these shirts on. And they were removed, and I think they were banned. But the idea is making light of someone losing their life and associating it with Alabama men's basketball. I firmly believe that no one should ever touch, let alone pick up a firearm unless they own it, unless they're at the shooting range where you're with a licensed, trained person who is there, or if you're at the store purchasing one and there's no ammunition in the gun. But other than that, I've come to the conclusion, don't ever touch a gun. So whether your friend's calling, your mom's calling, your homeboy, your boss, you never touch a gun unless you own it. That's my philosophy now. We just have too much unnecessary gun violence taking place in this country.
I agree with that.
That's true.
Absolutely.
All right, the next thing, our guy, J.R. Smith. Amazon is launching a new 4-part docuseries on J.R. Smith. The
my
film,
goodness. Really?
Yeah, it's coming out April 4th. LeBron and Maverick Carter, under their uninterrupted banner, are doing it. Fun facts about J.R. People might not have known this, but actually he came straight out of high school at age 19, and he had a great career, and especially since he won 2 rings with LeBron, with Cleveland, and also with the Lakers. But this series is going to pick up with Smith as he decides to go to the great North Carolina A&T University, the largest HBCU in the country, and his new athletic career playing golf. So J.R. Smith is bringing great attention to our state, and certainly his story is one that I'm interested in continuing to follow.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one.
That's going to be good.
That's going to be really good.
Real good.
Yeah, excited for JR. That's great. It's wonderful how LeBron continues to do things to lift up other folks who are more than just basketball players. The last thing, it is March Madness, and I have to refer folks to Ken Pom, Ken.POM. His name is Ken Pomeroy. In terms of what he is thinking for those who still haven't filled out their brackets or who will make changes, considering going to his site. I want to lift up the adjusted efficiency margin, as in how can a team score, their ability to score versus a team's ability to stop someone and play defense. So I'll throw this out to you all. Do you think it's better for a team to be really good at scoring or to be really good at playing defense? Now, obviously, you want a team that can do both.
Right.
But what would you lean on? Scoring or stopping?
That's a very interesting question. I would say stopping, because my ability to score and my ability to stop them may aid me in winning that game.
I think ability to score. That's just me. Ability to score. Because sometimes you people can stop themselves.
Right. If you have the ability to score, then
I can always
right.
I'm gonna be able to outshoot you, because you may just miss on your own.
Yeah, but
so in other words, the ability to have the teams that have NBA players, because there's a rare a person from college who makes it to the NBA just because of defense, but NBA players all know how to score.
Right.
And when you have 1 or 2 NBA players on your team, there's a good chance you're going to win, Pam, what's yours?
I think scoring.
Okay. So when you look at Ken Pom, and this is just the general, because there's so many statistical analyses that he does. But when we look at adjusted efficiency margin, as in looking at a team's ability to score and a team's ability to stop, the top 5 teams are Houston, in this order: Houston, UCLA, Alabama, Connecticut, and Tennessee. And in fact, you don't see an ACC squad until you get to Duke at number 22.
Wow.
Virginia at 34. And then Miami is at 43.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Now, if you just focus on offense, Gonzaga's number 1, Baylor's number 2, Iowa's number 3. And then if you think about just in terms of who has the ability to stop, the top 3 are UCLA, Tennessee, and Alabama. Houston coming in 4. So have fun with Ken Pom, but you can run all types of analyses, even based on luck. Who are the luckiest teams? And in fact, let me pull that up real quickly. When you go just by luck, there are 2 teams in our state that have a shot, and that would be UNC Asheville is ranked number 2, and UNC Wilmington is number 4 in terms of just luck.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I would say I wanted, it was some of the teams you mentioned about the scoring. I wonder if that was really a component of who they're playing, right, in the conference that they're in, how weak the conferences may or may not be. But I would like to see what those would be as the tournament concludes. How did they fare in the tournament? Were they still the best scoring team in the tournament? Or were they still the best defensive team in the tournament? And how far did they go?
Well, he is an amazing super quant. And if we just look at strength of schedule, which is a great point, rankings changed to Kansas is number 1, Oklahoma number 2, see that Big 12, Baylor number 3, Iowa State number 4, and West Virginia number 5, based on strength of schedule.
And that's all Big 12 right there.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the painful thing is that we've all been screaming, and I was number 1 on the mic screaming about how the ACC is undervalued. We did see that Clemson lost at home last night. Virginia Tech lost on the road. Pitt squeaked one out. And so we're really hoping that our NCAA March Madness teams, Duke, Miami, Virginia, and State, have a good showing. Otherwise, maybe there is some truth that our league just isn't as good as we thought.
You've seen the eye test, Dr. Stroman. You don't have to say it. The eye test tell you all you need to see. You know.
Dr. Stroman, I have a question for you. We've been talking about it all week. So your thoughts on Carolina not accepting the bid to the NIT?
Oh, mercy.
Look hold on. That last night should tell you the answer.
See what she just said?
Yeah, that's what them team that lost. Just give you the answer.
Actually, I think I'm going to write an article on. I've had a number of people ask me to talk on it, so I might write something about it. You know, I was up in Charlottesville on Monday for Jimmy Miller. For people who remember, it's the center after Ralph Sampson. He does an amazing event to support Piedmont CASA, which is a program to help young people.
Yeah.
And it's the breakfast, bracket breakfast. And I know Wittenberg attempted to do one here in the Triangle a couple of years ago.
Oh, we did it Monday.
Anyway,
He did one Monday. He did one Monday.
We did do one again. Excellent. Very good. So the person next to me, you know, they had to get in their Carolina jab. And they said that it's typical of Carolina, if things don't go their way, to take the ball and go home. And then someone else said that head coach of Michigan, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me?
Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard alluded to that same thing in his post conference around the NIT. And so I think for the state of college basketball, it's just not a good look, because it just puts, and maybe it's a reality check, but it doubles down on the fact that this is big business. And if you can't make money, if you can't be seen in the number 1 tournament, if you can't get an opportunity to win the big ring, then nothing else matters. And we're supposed to be talking about 17 to 22-year-olds getting as many opportunities as possible to play the sport that they love.
Okay. Can I interject? Pam, in this conversation?
Sure.
if I'm Clemson this morning,
they rethinking it.
That did not help me at all. Matter of fact, it furthered the whole narrative to Clemson would never be a school that would be that you could pay attention to on the basketball level. Even because keep in mind this team was at one point ranked number 1 in the ACC. They didn't get a bid to the tournament. They go and play at Morehead State or City or wherever. I can't remember who they played.
Or a half-empty Carmichael Arena.
Right. So and lose to them. What positive came out of that? So
Errol, you just gave me more data for my point. You said, what good was it for Clemson? That's what I'm saying. It's all about the business of basketball at Clemson versus thinking about an 18-year-old who got to play one more game, got to travel, got to meet people, got to spend another time with his friends. It's all about the business. Right.
But tell them to go to Morehead or another school because when you go to Clemson, it's not they don't care. Again, you think Clemson's feeling good about that loss last night?
Nobody feels good about a loss, but I'm saying, what about that young man or young woman who just wanted another chance to play, and they did.
So
this is so much about winning, money. Clemson.
Wow! Imagine that. So wait, is this breaking news?
Come on, Dr. Stroman.
Come on,
that's my point.
These this is not breaking news. Come on,
Dr. Stroman.
I just said that it's the reality.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All
right. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm not disagreeing.
But so for me, specifically to the Tar Heels not participating. Do you feel, because I don't, do you feel that if you cannot put your best product on the court, which they would not have been because people are transferring and moving on and
Baycott injured.
Right. And Baycott's injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't feel like you can put your best product on the court and really what you're doing is running a combination of Blue Steel and a couple other players, what would be the purpose? What would be the purpose?
R.J. Davis was quoted as saying he wanted to play. Caleb Love was quoted as saying he wanted to play. All I'm saying is that whether you agree with the decision or not, the point is it just doubles down on where we are with the business of basketball.
No, I'm just asking, though, if you can't put your best product on the court, why do it?
Because you've got young people who want to play. Do we always have to go into a game saying, you know what, this reminds me of football when we send the poor team to go get slaughtered by Alabama and Clemson. What good does that do? Well, we got the money. We got the money now. You see what I'm saying? Those kids, I hate saying the word kids for young men. They're going to lose by 40 to 50 points. Does anybody care about those football players who are being sent to get slaughtered? No.
Dr. Stroman, I know what you said. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll wait for the article, and then we'll discuss it.
And then we'll
good point.
Write the article.
It's gonna be good.
Come to the studio. We're gonna unpack.
We talk about this again.
We're gonna unpack this article because
now, where are you all when James Madison gets sent to play Ohio State? Ohio State's homecoming. You know they're going to lose by 50 points. Where are y'all screaming? They shouldn't go play. No, that's not right.
But these shows, to be honest with you,
it's not going to be good for James Madison.
Sometimes I do say that.
But these shows, sometimes you'll be surprised.
Sometimes I do, though. Seriously.
You'll be surprised if it's going to happen in September. North Carolina Central is going to UCLA.
Oh, there you go.
But hold on.
Virginia's going to Tennessee.
But wait a minute. Watch this, though. I'm going to L.A. I'm going to L.A. to play in the Rose Bowl. I'm playing against a UCLA team, which I know I got some guys on my team. We just won the national championship on the black side. This is a major deal for us. They will embrace that, in my opinion, as opposed to look frown upon that.
And you feel like you are putting your best foot
forward.
Right,
exactly.
Not I'm going in with half of my team.
Right. Now, this team is going to L.A.
So you're saying Clemson went into the game last night thinking that they wouldn't win?
No.
Really?
Clemson. Yeah, that's different.
That's different. It's a different analogy.
Okay.
Clemson thought that they were going to win. They were home.
Right. Yeah, and I believe UNC probably realizes that they wouldn't.
Use the analogy of the schools that that don't have a chance at all, and they don't even care if their starting quarter or if their fourth-string quarterback is going on the trip.
Okay.
The point is, you're going to get mauled so the department can make money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Some of those, and
You
I
all
think
know
I think some of those, and I've been on record. Some of those, I don't think serves a
good.
purpose. And I think even Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, whatever he wants to be called today, stated that. And one of the things he alluded to was they actually don't make as much money as they thought. They were going across the country with $500,000, which most people know to take 125 people across the country for 4 days is going to cost you about $500,000.
They plus the band and all that, so it gets expensive. But we're gonna unpack
all right,
this.
Dr. Stroman, I can't wait for this article.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
You're gonna start it something now, so I'm gonna be waiting on this.
Y'all have a great day.
Okay.
Go ACC.
Go ACC. You too.
What you got, G Money?